This question is given in GATE 2009. The question is, gold and silver ornaments are precious. Now we are supposed to choose which one of these propositional functions are right. Again, in this question also they didn't discuss anything about the domain of x. They have been using this variable x. Whenever you use the variable, you are supposed to say what is its domain, what they mean by it. They didn't mention it. They are supposed to do it. So let's assume that again x is set of all metals, universal, everything. Okay. So when x is set of all metals, then we are supposed to find out which one of these following is right. And second thing which they mentioned, which I didn't mention in this question, is they have indicated clearly what does each predicate mean. For example, P of x means x is precious, G of x means x is gold, S of x means x is silver. That is what they mentioned. Now let's try to see how to solve it. What is that we want to test in the domain? That is what we should understand. So let us say the domain is set of all metals. Okay, all metals are present here. This is the domain. So x can take any value from this domain. Now a part of this domain will contain metals which are gold, and a part of it will contain metals which are silver, right? And the remaining part will contain the remaining metals which we are not interested in. Therefore we are supposed to test only the metals which are present here and present here. Got it? So what do we really want to test is, for every gold or for every silver, the metal is supposed to be precious. If it is not precious, then this statement is false. Gold and silver ornaments are precious, which means either a gold ornament or a silver ornament is supposed to be precious. Ornament means something made of that metal, so you can consider it as a metal, normal. Now how do you just you think about it for some time? How can we solve it? So one thing is, when you see this and, it is really misleading. You might think that you have to apply conjunction between gold and silver, but that is wrong. So what is that you wanted to prove? That every gold is precious or silver is precious, which means if a metal is either gold or silver, then it is precious. That is what you wanted to express. Even though the statement is misleading, the actual statement which will give you the exact meaning is either if the ornament is gold or silver, then it is precious, kind of that. Okay, now how can you express it? So I want to test all the metals here, but I am concerned about only when the metal happens to be gold or silver. Therefore for all x, I want to test every metal present in the universe. In case if it is gold, G of x, or if it is silver, then only I want to test the condition. If a metal is not gold, if the ornament is not gold, or if the ornament is not silver, I don't want to care about it. Which means if these two happens to be false, and if this entire thing happens to be false, I don't want to check the condition whether it is precious or not. I just want to declare true value, because the only thing that will affect this answer is the metals which are present inside these sets. Got it? Okay. So if it is either gold or silver, then it is supposed to be precious. Okay. If then, for all, we'll generally have this kind of representation. I told you we have seen many examples. I think by now you should be able to understand it. If you see the options, now let's try to see the options. Now what does this one mean? For all metals, if the metal is precious, then it is both gold and silver. That is always false. Why do you think that it is false? Because a metal can either be gold or it can either be silver. It cannot be both gold and silver. So this is always going to have a false value, right? And if the metal happens to be precious, then this entire thing is going to be false. If the metal happens to be non-precious, then it is going to be true. But anyway, it is not what we wanted to express. Now look at this one. For all metals, if the metal is gold and silver, then it is precious. What is the problem with this one? Can you guess it? a metal cannot be gold and silver at the same time simultaneously, which means this is always going to be false. So what happens then? If this value happens to be false, what happens? Then without testing whether it is precious or not, we can declare that this statement is true for every metal, which means without knowing anything, without testing anything, we can declare that this statement is always true. Of course, this statement is going to be always true because no metal can be gold and silver simultaneously. Therefore, this is always going to be false. This is always going to be true for every metal. And if you apply true, true, true in conjunction, then the entire thing is going to be true. Alright. Now, what about this one? There exists a metal such that it is both gold and silver. Again, think about it. There exists a metal such that it is gold and silver. I don't know how to read it and explain you also. So anyway, what happens is, take any metal and substitute here in place of x. This one is going to be false, and false implies anything is anyway true. Therefore, at least for one value it is true, and it is also always going to be true, right? Therefore, this is the answer, not anything. Okay, so either the metal is gold or silver. So this is the most confusing aspect of the one of the these questions. The problem is they will use the word and you will directly pick up the option which is having and here. Probably you might think that either this one is right or this one is right, something like this. It will just be misleading. But if you see this, even the placement of the options, they have kept it in the D, because in a hurry you will just pick up something on the way, right? You don't even get to D. Got it? Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.